companies like General Mills are taking real leadership in this agenda, and as you've called for, Jim, really looking at emission reductions and a credible and material kind of commitment to doing so. General Mills has made that commitment to reduce, its greenhouse gas emissions across its value chain, John. And it would be great to hear from you. What does that commitment mean? Tell us a little bit more about how General Mills is trying to operationalize that commitment. What are the challenges and opportunities that you see, and why is it that you've chosen to take real leadership in this agenda?
Great, thank you, and thanks for letting me be here today. The slide is not a blatant attempt at marketing. It's just that most people, when they hear General Mills, really have no idea what we do, because we don't brand anything General Mills. We live behind sort of the brands, and so this is a set of our global brands. We're a $20 billion food company around the world. Most of our business in North America and in Europe, but increasingly in other parts of the world. And we've been around for 149 years. And we've had 116 years of uninterrupted and unreduced dividends to our shareholders. And we aim to continue that. And we're reminded every day by both our shareholders and our employees that that's the goal. And so if we want to be around for the next 150 years, it's clear to us that we have to mitigate the risks that we see in our world. And there's none greater than climate change. For us to live our purpose, which is to serve the world by making food that people love, we have a very intimate relationship with our consumers, and we have a very intimate relationship with the earth, because it provides the raw materials. And so we have to do right by it in order to ensure the sustainability of our business. And so just recently, we have declared a science-based goal of a 28% reduction in greenhouse gases, absolute reduction in greenhouse gases, by the year 2025, with the 2050 aspiration of being carbon neutral. That is a goal that's based on science. It's not based on what we thought we could do or what we thought people wanted to hear, but instead we consulted with BSR, we consulted with other groups to give us feedback on what was our fair and proportionate share and what needed to be done, regardless of whether we knew how to do that. We've been doing this for a while. We've invested in our own four walls. We invested in things that we could control because that's safe and easy for companies to do. And we've been doing it for a while, and we've made some decent improvements in those areas. We've reduced our absolute footprint in our manufacturing facilities by 14%. But the problem is, as has been pointed out several times, 2/3 of our greenhouse gas emissions occur upstream of our manufacturing plants in agriculture. And while there's people who want to be on different sides of this discussion, whether it's our fault or not, it clearly is our problem. And we have to take accountability for it. So the other part that's different around this goal is it's a 28% absolute reduction in our value chain emissions. Not the ones that we can see, not the ones that we can measure, but the ones that come from farm to fork. And my job as the leader of the global supply chain entails all of that. So we're going to start by spending $100 million in our manufacturing plants to continue to drive energy efficiency and to move to more renewables. But as I mentioned, that's necessary but not sufficient. Most of the work is collaborating upstream. It's around improving yields. It's about reducing fertilizer usage. It's about ensuring resilience and building carbon in the soil, because that's going to allow farmers, whether they're conventional or organic, and whether they're in North Dakota or they're in India, the opportunity to continue to thrive and participate in the economy and ensure that we can get our materials. As we talk about climate justice, this idea that climate change is going to impact maybe some of the poorest and most vulnerable people in the world, for us that manifests itself in really a couple key ingredients. 90% of the world's vanilla comes from northeast Madagascar. 70% of the world's cocoa supply comes from 2 countries in Africa. And so for us to work in those communities, work origin direct kinds of initiatives to ensure we can build the resilience in those communities, it's important for sustaining our business. And we're committed to be part of the solution, not only because it's the right thing to do, and that's the first value of our company, do the right thing all the time, but because it's important to our shareholders and to the longevity of our business moving forward. And so I've been asked many times, what's your hope in this, and why have you declared a goal that you don't know how to do? And the answer is because we're open for business. We take a little bit of our model from Unilever, who sets goals and then brings people to the party to try to figure out how to work that collaboratively. We can't solve this. General Mills can't solve this, and Unilever can't solve this. But hopefully we can convene people that can create collaboration and innovation that can make a real difference and serve as a role model for companies moving forward. We all have a part to play.